Welcome one, welcome all. We back. We actually we were hyping up episode 100, and then it was that little that little 10-minute vid. So this is episode or video 101. What, episode 13? We got a little surprise. We're upgrading, boys. We're leveling. We're leveling the fuck up. Okay. Production quality. Pull it closer to your face, you goon.
This is an investment.
So yeah, we moving up in the world, boys. I got surprise number 2 if you're ready for it.
Let's get it, man.
This is the first piece of fan mail.
I'm fucking high.
Ah, shit. Sorry, let me this real quick.
This is sweet, dude. I like this. I see John Paxson. I see
you shut your mouth.
I see a top 5 shooting guard of all time.
Don't look at my messy room, but our father found this at a thrift shop, and it's an officially NBA licensed photograph of the early 90s Bulls.
Oh, is that Stacey King in this math? I got.
Yeah, and it has facsimile autographs. It's got
Scottie Pippen,
Scottie Pippen,
Horace Grant, John Paxson,
the 15th best player ever, Michael Jordan,
15th best shooting guard. Get that? Let's code and correct that.
We got John Paxson, Horace Grant, Stacey King, Bill.
I can't tell the last one. Oh, Bill Cartwright.
Yep,
that's cool. Wow, thank you, Dad. Shout out to Daddy.
And here's the thing: a little inside baseball for you all. We about to have a move. And whatever the next place looks like, I'm going to be putting up a bunch of NBA stuff, and that's going to be the centerpiece. So, little inside, more inside baseball. Dad found that for $1 framed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Shop.
Yeah. Very cool.
In Lewistown?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that goes for all you listeners out there. How would you start sending some goddamn fan mail, please?
Yeah. What the fuck, guys?
Nobody's even asked for our P.O. box.
Yeah. We've not even. Fuck. Yeah, it's not even fan mail. It's just a loving father. But you know, if your dad isn't your biggest fan, then what the fuck are we doing here? I guess do you want to start with Blood in the Garden? I think we've alluded to this book, the release of this book, and I think the plan is we're gonna do a little I don't know, what do you want to call it, like a read along?
Yeah, just we're gonna bring you motherfuckers along on the journey.
Exactly. So we got
we got the censored copy and we got the explicit version. We got the Walmart version. We got the Best Buy version for anybody who's bought a CD.
Pretty much, dude. Mine's the redacted bunch of black streaks through all the stuff they don't want you to see.
Yeah, I'll let you know what happened, dude.
Yeah. You got the official CIA release, dude. I got the redacted copies. So, but I think both of us are about 2 chapters in. What are your thoughts so far?
Well, I mean, it's exactly how I'd want one of these books to start. It's like I didn't know what to, I never know how these books are going to start when I crack them open, but this one was like started in a preseason or like a training camp practice in South Carolina with Pat Riley breaking up a fight, and I'm just like, this is a perfect start to this book. This story.
I feel like and I don't want this to come off as a criticism, but like I feel like that's been a trope with some of these recent kind of like this string of basketball books where they start like that, like with a seemingly insignificant table setter.
Wait, so you didn't like how it started?
No, I did. That's why I said I didn't want it to come off as a negative, but I love that when they start with like something that seems insignificant, but it kind of
Riley's disheveled at a preseason or at a training camp.
Yeah. And it's just like all about the physicality. I don't know. It was even through the prologue in the first 2 chapters. I think this was a really good. They really placed this. They made the setting really well. They established that really well. So I'm not gonna lie. We said we were gonna get through chapter 2, and I just wanted to keep going, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I had a hard time. I was like, this is so fucking hot.
Yeah. So is there any anecdotes you want to kind of jump in on from the first couple? I mean, there's one that needs to be addressed, right?
I mean,
it's got to be.
Let's name the player. Name the player on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Xavier McDaniel. Okay.
Himself, dude, take it away. Let him know what happened. Tell the people.
The guy has a reputation of what you call peacocking,
he's hogged out.
Yeah, the guy's triple XL lap hogged out of his mind. He's walking around I mean, this is, like, not to get weird, but like these are the little weird things you always like. I don't know. You just wonder like what goes on in an NBA locker room. I don't necessarily want to know.
I wish I could see in an NBA locker room.
I was gonna say I don't specifically want to know, but like, you want to know what it's like in a locker room. But there's a story in there about spoiler alert, but Xavier McDaniel walking around with his fully erect hog
after games.
Yeah, and sometimes he'd just put a towel over just that and walk around. It's like no big deal. And then it's funny because you hear that side of him, but then it might have been earlier or later on in the book. But you lost the.
He's getting jealous that we're talking about the other New York area team, not his Nets.
True. But they also talk about Anthony Mason. One of his first days, kind of as a guy trying to, prove himself. They were doing rebounding drills, and I guess him and Xavier McDaniel just like got into a hellacious fight. So it's like, on one hand, you got the jokester walking around the locker room, showing what he's made of. Then on the other hand, he's, not a guy to be fucked with, which
that was
already had that reputation, but like to hear like a retelling of it was just like, God dang, dude, mess with that guy.
That was kind of surprising thing to me about it is like, I know X-Man has he has a tough reputation as being a tough guy. Mm-hmm. And it's hard too with some of these like stories from 30 years ago, like how, like, you kind of, it's like things get inflated in your mind with what actually happened. But it sounded like Anthony Mason socked him and it didn't take him down. And I can't imagine Anthony Mason hitting somebody and not dropping them. If he connected. And so like either
Mace at any point in his career was literally built like a tank.
And so if Anthony Mason did in fact hit him, like it sounded like he hit him, and the fact that X just took it and came right back at him, that's fucking crazy. And I would never fuck with Xavier McDaniel or Anthony Mason or any NBA player. But
and like you were alluding to, like sometimes these things get blown up over time. Is like, but there's the quote in there refers to they were doing rebounding drills on one half of the court, rebounding drills on the other half. The players on the other half of the court, the guards who were participating in their own rebounding drill, when they heard the noise of the contact from Anthony Mason, that's when they stopped and they were like, oh shit, what's going on down there? So it's like, I mean, a crowded gym, whistles, sneakers, basketballs, and you hear that smack from across the gym. It's like, I mean, any mortal man would have probably got his head knocked off by Anthony Mason, but
I can't imagine taking an Anthony Mason punch, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's already been some pretty cool anecdotes in there. I don't know how much more time you want to spend. I mean, it really did just kind of, it kind of went through some of the history of the Knicks, brief history, like Pat Riley, Pat Ewing. What's the Dave Checketts? Is that the
Utah executive who took over and convinced Pat Riley and Pat Ewing to a certain extent to stay.
So they've kind of established, who the main players are for those Knicks teams. And I think they've given us a good foundation. So I mean, I'm pumped to see where this book goes. I don't know if I'll be able to limit myself to 20 pages for next week. I'll just be totally honest with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can take this at a faster pace, but there are a couple other things I wanted to point out that I thought were interesting. A couple anecdotes.
Oh yeah, there was plenty in there.
Hey, I didn't even know who was it. Dave Checketts, was that right?
Yeah, I think that was his name.
I didn't even know who that was. It said he was the youngest executive.
Well, he was the guy that they said drafted Malone and Stockton, right?
Right, but it says the Garden replaced him with Dave Checketts, a 35-year-old who 7 years earlier had become the youngest chief executive in league history. So that means he was 28 when he started with Utah.
Oh my Lord,
that's impressive. Because like I feel like
I don't know if we'll ever hear a story like that.
Well, even it's weird. This may be completely incorrect, but it feels like that's more of a recent thing where the people aren't afraid to employ younger people in higher positions in sports. And it's like every like coaches now, it's like, oh God, every year there seems like there's somebody who's like younger than the effing players. When I don't feel like that was ever the case 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But now it's like a norm for like executives and coaches to be younger. But like in the mid 80s for somebody to be 28 running a franchise,
that's a good
that seems
point.
awfully crazy to me. But something that I thought was interesting was,
I guess like Taylor Jenkins is only 37, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Still, that's
like
20. You said 28.
Yeah, he was 28, 30 years ago.
That is,
He took,
I wonder what the average age of like the GMs up to that point in the league were.
I can imagine one executive being under 30.
Yeah, that just seems, even today, that seems pretty weird to me. But
but But I did want to mention one thing that I thought was interesting was, and pardon me for looking down.
No, you're good.
Riley's list of demands for coming back.
Oh my!
I thought was pretty interesting.
I mean, it's the most Pat Riley thing you've ever heard, right?
Which it's hard because I want to not like Pat Riley just because like I know he's done some scummy stuff. Like I believe we'll get to this, and this is something I learned about and I've forgotten. But Pat Riley, how he exited the Knicks, I believe was extremely shady and underhanded. I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, and he did something just like underhanded and like betrayed the Knicks in like a slime ball way. But like his persona, like I hate that I like his persona. Like he's just like. He's about like the expensive lifestyle and just like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of his demands were like they have to pay for like the dry cleaning. They need all the team
pay for
polos
Pat
need
Riley's.
To be,
yeah,
they need to be specifically Ralph
Lauren
polos.
Yeah,
like I mean, like they were to pay for his housing, which like I think Chris Herring alluded to that being like not totally not crazy, but still kind of like okay.
Norm. Yeah. Also, the book deal and a potential movie deal as well.
Yeah, true. Because they're like part owner was like Paramount or something.
Yeah. But I'm glad you act. The two things that caught me were like he wanted the team issued polo shirts to be actually manufactured by Ralph Lauren, which is that's awesome that he would ask for.
Yeah.
That. And then he wanted the laundry and I bet like if there's one motherfucker whose laundry and dry cleaning expenses are out of control, it's probably Pat Riley, dude.
Yeah, every outfit he probably wears 4 outfits a day, and they're all effing Yeah.
So,
I mean, it was the most like exactly what you think Pat Riley would be like.
And that's the kind of stuff I like sign up when I read.
But the other cool part about it was like they line out kind of how Dave Checkett's because like Pat Riley was done with being a coach. You know, he'd already had the NBC, highest level of he was an analyst. He'd already reached the pinnacle. I mean, he led the Showtime Lakers. Like he's got nothing left to prove. So like it was kind of cool how they went through the negotiation between Checkett and Pat Riley and how in the end, you know, Pat Riley was even asking for one more thing. And that was, I need you to guarantee Pat Ewing is our guy and he's here, which, and not to just like literally reread the book, but like Pat Ewing was not at a great place with the Knicks and kind of wanted out. He'd given a list of teams. But that
was one of my other anecdotes. I thought it was.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
And he like for him to like pick Golden State as one of his teams.
Yeah. But it was kind of cool because like ultimately Pat Riley wasn't going to jump without a guarantee from Pat Ewing, and Dave Checkett went to him and he's like, "Hey, we got a press conference today. Either you're our guy or you're not. Pat Ewing's not guaranteed here." And then I guess Pat Riley called him back an hour later and he's like, basically like I just wanted to see what you were made of, you know? Yeah. Like he was just like, I wanted to make sure you weren't like a pushover. And it's like, that is such a Pat Riley, like psycho, like manipulative, but like, that's how, like it's kill or be killed. Like you have to have that mentality in certain aspects. So,
and one thing I've never like really thought about this, but I think I need to think about it more often is Pat Riley deserves more credit for like so many coaches they like have success with a system and that's like their established system and how they play. And they go to other places and that's what they do. But Pat Riley, they just like everywhere I go, like Phil Jackson, everywhere I go, we're playing the fucking triangle. I don't care. I don't care the personnel. I don't care the year. Or like, you know, Dan to a certain extent, like is like, you know, he's coached like James Harden or not.
Yeah, even like Thibodeau, like there's coaches.
I take back the D'Antoni because the Suns were different than the Rockets, but but Pat Riley to go from the Showtime Lakers to the 90's Knicks and furthermore to the late 90's Heat, which was like another rough and tumble team. Like for him to like basically polar opposites and be able to succeed in both of those environments and like with all those egos he coached, that's pretty fucking impressive, dude.
And the other cool part that they allude to, God, I always forget the dude's name. The Pistons like defensive coach who he has like a kind of inappropriate name.
Dick Harder.
Yeah. He was like, you know, Jordan rules, that sort of stuff with the Pistons. But it's kind of cool that they painted the picture. And I just was an idiot for never putting 2 and 2 together. But, you know, the Pistons, they knew how to beat Jordan and they aged out. That's what happened. Injuries and they aged out. And obviously like the Knicks came in and they were the next hard-nosed team, but I never saw like any continuity between the two, but they really kind of lined out that like, they saw that as like, this is how you beat Jordan. And like we got Pat Ewing, we got the talent for it. And like, like you said, to go from like the ultimate, like run and gun Showtime Lakers to most hard nosed, like, I mean, as we read more and more into this book, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of these Knicks teams. I think they're cool. I think it's an awesome part of the history of basketball. I'm a Pacers fan, you idiot.
Dude, you got to respect it, dude.
I don't have to respect it. They're effing goons, the way they play. But anyways, dang, I think we discussed it longer than it took me to effing read.
I ain't done yet. I got one more.
All right.
What can I say? I'm a hoops junkie. Maybe this is one of your edited copy, shitbird.
True.
Ewing had a opt-out contract of which, like, I've never heard of before.
Oh, my.
If he wasn't a top 4 paid player, like I believe in terms of yearly salary in the league, he could opt out of his contract with the Knicks, basically
renegotiate or enter free agency.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of
we will never see that again. That'll never exist.
It's crazy stipulation. There was a lot of backhanded stuff that went on with the Knicks trying to get him out of New York by using that clause, which never worked out. But that's not the point I wanted to bring up. The point I wanted to bring up was in 91. He was the 4th highest paid player, so he was one off being able to use his opt-out clause. And for all the listeners at home, for maybe Jesse and maybe Kurt, Mike Jordan was one of the top 4. Mike Jordan. He doesn't even deserve me saying his full fucking name.
That's Michael Air Jeffrey, his airness, the GOAT, Jordan, 6'0", rangs.
Top 15 shooting guard, Jordan. One of the other top 4, Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay, nothing unexpected here. The 4th, Pat Ewing. That's expected. He was a megastar back then. The 3rd, John Hot Rod Williams. I would have never guessed that Hot Rod Williams would have been one of the top 4 paid players in the NBA.
Right. A guy whose best year was 17-8 on, decent efficiency. So
did it happen to come? Like, did he sign a big deal in 91? Like, were you just looking at his player card?
Yeah. Well, the thing that happened was,
what was his best year? Was it like 89, 90 or 90, 91?
Yep. It was 89, 90. And
so
then I
came
think
off that in his early
when they alluded to a TV deal, which granted the scale of like what a new TV deal means different things now, just because, NBA as a business has gotten so much bigger, but it really sounds like new TV deal. He was a good young player coming off a good year and just right place, right time, was one of the, never lived up to the top 5 paid player in the league that he was at one point. But top
3, I believe. Top 3, because they were looking to supplant Ewing was looking. David Falk, who is Ewing's agent, was looking to supplant Ewing with Chris Mullin. And so that, to me, how I understand that is Hot Rod Williams was the 3rd highest paid player in the league. Which
true.
Is something I would have never guessed in a million years.
Yeah. And well, like I had heard about that before, so it wasn't like a total surprise to me. I'd heard that, like, might have been Bill Simmons or somebody had referenced Hot Rod Williams being so highly paid at one point. So it wasn't a total shocker, but like, if you hadn't like just luckily heard about that, that is insane to hear. Cause like, it's not even the case of like, oh, he was an established vet who was on the tail end, like the guys we see today, where it's like some of the highest paid players are John Wall, Russ Westbrook, Chris Paul. Like, he was still a young player to be the highest paid. So it's just, I don't know, bananas. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again either.
So those were that was the last thing I wanted to mention. I mean, that was, we just spent so much time talking about literally like 20 pages, and this book is going to be a ride.
Well, and that's the thing, man. It's like there was, so much to unpack in just 20 pages. Like, I can't even imagine what kind of the detail they're going to get in when we start talking about like the specific playoff series that we remember. Right. And like, dude, this book is, I'm very, very, anybody who hasn't picked it up or anything, go read it. Cause it's, first 20 pages is worth the price of admission. So
yeah, I would agree.
At least in my opinion. So, well, crap, that does it for our book report. I guess our co-book report. Did you want to talk about some of the All-Star Weekend selections?
Only you know what this means, dude.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Do it right. Do you want to start? Dude. You want to start dunk contest?
Dunk contest, yes. Tell me what the fuck you think.
Well, just for anybody they announced the 4 participants: Obi Toppin, Jalen Green, Juan Toscano Anderson, and Cole Anthony.
another year, another underwhelming field, I would say.
I feel pretty meh about it. I'm not going to lie. But the one positive of that is, if you come in with expectations here, it's going to be really easy to be pleasantly surprised, hopefully. Yeah. So, I don't know. But
also at the same time, when your expectations are low, you sometimes don't look as hard for the good. Like sometimes if my expectations are really high, I'll make a mountain out of a molehill. Be like, oh my God, that dunk's fucking sweet. But really, it's like, that dunk ain't that cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. We'll see.
I get the feeling that you feel similar. Pretty meh.
Yeah. I mean, I know Obi Toppin's a good dunker. I'm not interested in seeing him dunk. Cole Anthony, he had that one dunk attempt earlier in the season, or maybe it went down. I can't remember which, but he's got some springs. I don't know. I really wish a guy like Ja would do it. And I don't care if I have to pay my tax, but if you increase my taxes, my personal taxes, they should increase the personal taxes of each American by $1. And that would create a pot of like $300 million for the dunk contest.
Yeah.
I think that's a worthy tax.
Yeah. $1 tax. I'd opt into that.
I'd pay. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't want to get into that. The local,
because I know Ja.
The taxes in your municipality.
Yeah, I believe Ja had mentioned something about that. It's like, I'd do it if it was like the price is right.
Honestly, why don't they? That seems really stupid.
Yeah, or like
even if it was like $100K, just.
Well, I feel like it. How much is it? I think it is. It's quite a bit right now, but I'm talking. Let's throw 10 mil at him. Okay. Like, let's get some real dunkers in this motherfucker. I'm serious.
All right. I mean, I don't disagree, but
no, I'm serious, dude. They want to
you're in
dunk
La La
contest.
Land.
No, if they want to incentivize, like they don't need to incentivize the 3-point shootout. Everybody wants to do that. Skills challenge. They don't need to incentivize everybody. Like people do that, and it's fun regardless.
Like $500K, $250K. That any player would be.
I don't think so. I don't think that's enough.
$500K.
I don't think that's enough to get like Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant in there. That's who we need in there is like Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant, Zion. It's like, no, you need to throw some big money at him. And it's like, until then, we're going to keep seeing fucking Juan Toscano Anderson.
Yeah, Juwan. JTA Juan Toscano Anderson. But yeah, I don't know. I think we might be pleasantly surprised. I mean, like, I feel like Jalen Green, Cole Anthony got springs. I don't know on JTA. I just never. I mean, I'm sure he's got springs. Like he got picked for a reason, but again, he's not a guy that's going to get him. I mean, he's not going to get people more excited about the dunk contest unless you're a stupid Warriors K-pop fan. So,
well, I want to say
shots, baby.
I want to say one thing for the record. I am not a dunk contest hater. There are a lot of, I just want to make that clear to anybody who ever listens to this. And because this about me, but I know there's a lot of people who just like the dunk contest. They just need to, who cares? They don't even need to do it anymore, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, I still love the dunk contest. I want.
Oh, yeah. It's still a marquee event.
Yeah. I look forward to it more than anything on Saturday night, I would say. So, I mean, but I would still put the rookie game and all-star game ahead of the dunk contest. But
yeah, I'd agree with that.
But I still love it. So I'm not trying to like come off as like, oh, fuck this. It's so stupid. They don't have any star power. I'm just saying, I think it would be more of a spectacle.
It could be better.
It could be better. And I think all it would take is just throwing more money at the champion.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just think we disagree. I think you're in fucking La La Land. 50 mil right now. I mean, yeah, if money was growing,
it ain't that hard to come up with 50 mil, dog. Oh. Take it from me, dude.
I'm out here showing $1 posters, dude. What budget you think I'm on, dog?
Exactly. Put the other money, dude. Take the other money you would have spent on something like that and throw it in the old levy for the F and dunk contest.
True. No, they should do more stuff like that. I want to opt into stuff that I want to support, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to cover the all shit rookie game?
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to run through the rookies and then sophomores? All right. So on the rookies, we got Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Ayo Dosunmu.
Say his name, dude. Say his name.
Chris Duarte.
Nope.
Josh Giddey.
Say his name.
Jalen Green.
Say his fucking name.
Davion Mitchell, Evan Mobley.
Asshole, fuck you.
Alperen Şengün, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, and Herb Jones of the New Orleans Pelicans. So we each got one of our. Oh, dude, your traps are looking good, dude. Hit me with that again.
No,
you say you ain't been lifting.
I haven't. It's an illusion.
Shut
it's all
up.
fat. It's literally an illusion.
Shut
anyway,
up.
That's me celebrating Herbomania running wild on you, jabroni marks who don't know a work from a shoot when a worker. Anyway,
that's way deep cut. Shouts out to the Hulkster on that one. That looks like a hot tunic, dude. F yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to business here, dude.
So yeah, rookies, Pacers got one, Pelicans got one. So we each have something, to be hyped about. Sophomores, Precious Achiuwa, Cole Anthony, LaMelo Ball, Desmond Bane, Sadiq Bey, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, Jaden McDaniels, Isaac Okoro, Isaiah Stewart, and Jay Sean Tate.
Dude, I'm so happy Ayo Dosunmu is on there, dude.
Same.
I love that motherfucker.
Same. Earned it. I was kind of surprised. Kobe White's a sophomore, right?
I think he's a third year. He was a rookie the same year as Zion and John.
Oh, you're right. Fuck, my bad. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I don't know. I mean, what are your feelings on that? I feel like all the guys I would want to see are in there, right? Like,
yeah, I don't have really beef with it. I mean, my only concern was Herb Jones wasn't going to be in there, but if he wasn't in there, I would have. What?
Forgot the G League.
G League, yeah. Ignite.
Yep. So, and sorry if I destroy some of these names. Marjan Beauchamp. I literally was just I don't know his name, but I was about to watch a G League Ignite game this last weekend. They were playing the Delaware Bluecoats on NBA TV, and I changed the channel because I'm a fucking bitch. Bonk. Dyson Daniels, which sounds like a TNA.
I said Daniels, Dyson Tomko, huh?
Going ham on that mic, dude. Ripping the shirt, dude. Somebody,
I'll let you go through.
Got into you, promo, dude. We're talking about Xavier McDaniels schlong, and you're fucking losing it, bro. Jaden Hardy.
If you actually think I got a mic, I feel like a wrestler.
Seriously, the mic's hot, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of pumped for this game. I'm pumped for the new format. Do you know how they're picking the teams?
I'm not sure. I believe. Well, I mean, I know we spoke. I believe it was episode 12, not 12.5, about NBA 75 players were going to be coaching. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it's Rick Barry, Gary Payton, Isaiah. Thomas,
they announced them?
James Worthy. Yep.
Okay, cool. I like that.
So I wonder if the coaches will draft. I don't know how they're going to do that. That'll be. Yeah, I'm interested by this new format.
Ooh, do you know? I wonder if it's the one entire pool together, or if it's like, hey, we're gonna draft these motherfuckers, because like,
what do you mean?
Like, I wonder if it's like pick a G League Ignite guy first overall, or if it's like, no, we're gonna all four of us, we're gonna go through the sophomores, and then we're gonna go through the rookies, and then we're gonna go through the G League Ignite, or if it could be like, well, yeah, because
there's 12 of each, 12 rookies, 12 soft, so they probably should do it that way, right?
Just the reason I mentioned is like, I'd just be curious if it turned into like a truly like a game of schoolyard where it's like all the G League Ignite guys are left, or if it's like they're going to kind of insulate them from that and not have it be like.
Well, I wonder if they won't even do a draft thing because it's like,
or they'll just announce the rosters. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know if like I don't want to speak to how much like Rick Barry, Gary Payton, Isaiah Thomas.
I was about the G League Ignite.
Yeah, know about these guys. So who knows? Maybe they just like shuffle the rosters to be somewhat positionally okay. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Though.
I'm sure that'll probably be what happens. But
do you think? I mean, do you think anybody's just gonna like pop the fuck off in this? Do you think like an Ignite guy will just like, have a coming out party
did we talk about Edwards? That? Yeah, did we talk about that offline or maybe it was on the podcast briefly? But it's like this is like an opportunity for the G League, these G League guys to showcase, and it's like, obviously they don't want to come off as being like a me first, selfish. I'm just going to try.
Some of them might though,
but yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows how competitive?
It takes an alpha dog mentality to get to this level. So like, some of these guys might come in and be like, "Yeah, I'm better than these guys."
Yeah, I mean, it'll be curious. Like, it's the same thing usually with the sophomores is like, how much are these teams that are actually playing for something? How much are the sophomores actually going to play and be?
Yeah, how much is Anthony Edwards like
LaMelo?
If they were like 15 and 33, like maybe these guys are like balling out. But that's a good point. I'm afraid we're going to miss out on some stuff because like,
well, also with the format being different too, it's like they played a 50, and that's like that doesn't take long at all. In a rookie game, that takes 10 minutes?
Yeah, if that.
So if they're getting up and down, like it ain't gonna take long. So they're not gonna be playing a lot of minutes, but who the fuck knows? There's a lot of wild cards in this shit.
Oh no, it's just showing the player pool. I was gonna say that maybe they'd already drafted them, but it doesn't look like it, or assigned them or whatever. But Shoot, sorry to just cut off the momentum there. My bad.
You're good.
But no, I mean, like, I guess outside of Herb Jones, who are you kind of like? Is there a guy you're most excited to see play in the game?
I would assume Moo.
Yeah,
I love him. He's so cool.
Yeah,
I remember. I think it was. I forget exactly how it went down, but I'd have to look at the draft, last year's draft or this year's draft, I guess. But like, I was like, "Fuck, Pelicans take him." And when it was a close. I can't remember if they passed on him. I mean, then he got taken or he got taken right before the Pelicans. But he was like my favorite player coming out of college. Not that I give a fuck about college basketball, but like from like bits that I do see, it was him and like Kofi Cockburn and the other dude on Illinois are like my two favorite players in college.
Yeah, true.
So how about you? I mean, obviously you want to suck Duarte off.
Well, yeah, like obviously like Duarte. I like Herb Jones a lot, even though he's your guy.
I think did I see right? He's first in rookies and steals per game, second in blocks per game.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
If not, he's way, way, way up there, and he shoots relatively efficiently from three.
What a pick, dude.
Yeah, he's unreal. I'm excited to see Jalen Suggs. Honestly, I feel like he's a guy who came in with he has a certain reputation for his mentality, and I don't know, like I've not been super impressed by his time so far. So maybe the Magic aren't playing for something, and he's a high pick. Maybe he comes out and just like, oh, this is who Jalen Suggs is going to be. I don't know.
Well, him and Franz Wagner. Like, I'll be honest, dude. Like, I know we spoke in the past about like teams that we like to watch that aren't necessarily fair teams. I said the Magic, but that's changed since Markelle hasn't been playing and AG got traded. But
yeah,
so I haven't seen. Sorry about the vomit here. I haven't seen a lot of Magic this year, and so I'm interested to see because like Franz Wagner's scoring well, and Jalen Suggs obviously has a lot of hype around him.
He's Jalen Suggs has got, he's very I don't know. I'm excited to see, like, he's already a plus defender, but it's like, I don't know. It'll just be interesting to see him. This might be a chance for him to kind of come out and show it, I think. So,
right.
He's a guy the other answer would be Anthony Edwards, but I have the same concerns that you mentioned earlier, just because like in a different year, maybe Anthony Edwards goes the fuck off and drops goes crazy, but I think that's less likely.
I will say about Anthony Edwards, he seems like the type who wants to be that guy in every single game he plays, though. So I could almost see him say, fuck it, I'm going to try and score 40 out of these 50 points and take this MVP.
Honestly, like he should have a better case for All-Star over Andrew Wiggins, and it shouldn't even really be close. But
yeah, I agree with that.
Here we are.
I do want to say,
he should be in the All-Star game doing that. So not the all-shick rookie game. The Clorox bleach game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm going to expose myself for a take that happened before we had this podcast when you and I watched the draft.
Hey, you already done fucked me up on a couple, so about time you get one in.
Yeah. When Anthony Edwards came out and all the stuff was coming out about like, it seemed like he didn't care about basketball. Who knows how much it was joking or not, but I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Like that scares me. Bailey knows, everybody knows how I feel. Like we love players who are passionate about the game and care about the game more than anything. Yeah. Anthony Edwards just didn't seem to have that energy. But now that he's been in the league and he is just a competitive motherfucker who wants to be the best, I have nothing but respect for him. And I was way off on him, and I owe him an apology because I really enjoy what he brings to the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's one of those guys who's like, I just feel like we're going to be lucky to watch over the next 10 to 15 to 20 years. If we're going to be airing out dirty laundry, I would so wrong about LaMelo Ball. I'm never going to allow myself to forget that.
Me too.
I had all the concerns of like, oh, he's never looked like he's totally changed. He's not the same player he's been at his other stops, but I was dead wrong about him. He is an incredible talent. And like, he's a guy, I don't know. I doubt they allow him and Anthony Edwards to be on the same team. But my Lord, if those two dudes got to play together in a traditional all-shick rookie game, it's over, dude. Like,
yeah, that's why they need to go back to the rookie sophomore format, dude. It's about the highlights.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah,
not to look at them.
So, I guess just as an update, we'll probably be doing more in-depth all-star coverage as we get closer and as more things get announced. But just wanted to let everyone out there know kind of some of the recent announcements. Did you want to move on to trade talk, a couple team highlights, or some games?
Up to you. Let's just keep it moving though, because I know you got some shit going on. So
yeah. So I guess I don't know. I watched the doubleheader last night that was on TNT. It would have been the Bucks Wizards and the Suns Nets. Wasn't a whole lot of it, not much to take away from the Bucks Wizards game. I mean, it's kind of been the Wizards season all in one game. It's like there's stretches where they look like they can compete with the Bucks, and they're got, and that was even without Bradley Beal, and they looked really good, but it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like they're always going to come up short, and they're never like
Kuzma.
Yeah. I mean, if Kuzma's your best player, you got a ceiling, but it was good to see him. Like, I don't know if the Wizards were my team, I would be very happy with this season.
You're a Wizards fan. Would you want Brad Beal on that Supermax?
No.
Oof.
I mean, I guess I could be swayed because like everyone talks about like, oh, but what about year 4? Those contracts get traded all the time, so they're not immovable. And I think Bradley Beal will probably age a little better than some of those.
Wait, you wouldn't want those things?
No. That's the thing is like my gut reaction was no, but I could be swayed. Yes. I mean, like,
gotcha.
If I was a Wizards fan again, like I'd have a little more of an attachment to Bradley Beal and probably be like, no, we want this guy to be our guy forever. But I'm just not, I'm a Pacers fan. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I would say, the league is made up of like 4 halves, 26 have-nots. And so if you can have one player who's just going to give his career to your franchise and be an all-star level player for years and years and years and show nothing but love to the city and not demand his way out and not whine when it's bad. And it's like, so what if you don't fucking win and you handicap yourself or you peak at like a, conference semifinal exit? Like I would take, as a Pelicans fan, like, and you as a Pacers fan, maybe not so much you, but like at a certain point you have to be realistic and just say, you know what? If you could tell me Zion's going to stay for 15 years, Pelicans are never going to win a title, but they'll make a little bit of noise in the playoffs here and there. Won't make a finals, but he'll stay. He'll have a Hall of Fame career with the Pelicans, stay there for 15 years. I'd say sign me the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the alternative is like, oh, they just,
keep rebuilding and nothing. Keep rebuilding and nothing.
I think you're even proving my point because it's like, as a Pacers fan, I've been spoiled because Pacers fans have been in those shoes where it's just like we haven't had the one continuity, like the one piece. We've had, a franchise player for 5 years and then a franchise player for 3 years. And then Sabo is like he has the potential to be a true franchise player, I believe. I'm probably higher on him the most, but it's
traded to New Orleans.
You shut the
You see that rumor?
Him there, that doesn't make any sense at all unless they give up JV. How do you put those two? Anyways, but no, like a Pacers fan, I've been spoiled, and like 1 or 2 years down in the dumps, I'm like, we can't, like, this sucks. Get me the fuck out of here. So it's like,
welcome to the club, dude.
Yeah. I can't even handle a half season of this shit. So
fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm spoiled, dude.
I'm just
I root for winners, dog. As they've never won an NBA title, only ABA titles.
Got me beat, dog.
True. But no, I mean, the other thing about the Wizards, I don't know. Did you see some of those reports on Spencer Dinwiddie?
No, what's going on there?
So it's pretty, like, they're not even hiding it. They're just like, we're shopping this guy. And there's a report that came out that he was like,
I heard that part. What did he say?
That the players didn't want him there. And when you see that,
I heard Beal didn't want him there. I heard Beal. I was listening to a Bill Simmons thing.
And then a quote came out from Dinwiddie, and he said early on in the season, I tried to speak up. I tried to say my mind, say what was on my mind in the locker room, and it just didn't land effing well. And it's just been a bad fit ever. Like he lost the locker room very early on, and just, I don't know. It's sad because I like Dinwiddie, but it's just like, if it ain't the right fit, it ain't the right fit.
Well, at least everybody's on the same page about it.
Yeah, true. He's like, yeah, I fucked up. Get me the fuck out.
I wonder what he said. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, man. I mean,
where's the Wizards? Where's the early 2020s Wizards book?
I was just gonna say that book will never get written unless things drastically change. But no, that one was interesting. And then I guess game 2 of the doubleheader was Suns Nets, and it's just, dude, I don't know how you feel about this Suns team, but like they're as good as gold. They're gonna be in the finals. I just don't see like the way Steph's been playing, the uncertainty around Draymond.
What do you mean the way Steph's been playing? He's always a J Brown, dude.
True. It's just now people are realizing it.
Thank you.
Yeah. What are your splits for January, Steph? 37% from the field, 31 from 3. Yeah. Not my MVP.
Sorry,
not
pal.
ever.
No.
Not ever. But no, I mean, it was just the Suns team. I mean, they were playing, a shorthanded Nets team. Obviously, no KD. Harden's looking like he wants to go back to Houston for all he's just. Well, I don't even know what he's doing out there anymore. Kyrie looked. I mean, dude, if I can't be honest with my boys, dude, what am I doing here? But no, Kyrie looked like $1 million. I mean, he looked just a guy without anybody there to support him is what he looked like to me. Which was, like but it was, I mean, it was fun to watch. I mean, like it sucks to see Kyrie, with no help, but it's like when Kyrie's in do it all mode, he is the funnest player in the league to watch. Possibly. I mean, he's top 3, no doubt. But I mean, it was just clinical what the Suns did. I mean, like Michael Bridges had a huge game. Ayton played decent. Mikal Bridges, sorry. Chris Paul, Devin Booker just looks like, I mean, he doesn't get the credit of being like one of the biggest, like just big nuts shot makers in the league. I think he's starting to get that reputation, but like he's elite at that. Like he just, and the stretch he's been on lately just blows my mind. But and not to go back to the Wiggins and the All-Star talk stuff, but I just
yeah, let's talk about it, dog.
If the NBA does not change these positions next year, I will, dude. Adam Silver, I'm coming for you because this is a travesty, dude. Like Devin Booker and Chris Paul should hands down be all-stars.
Well, they'll both be reserves, no questions asked.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, if Wiggins is an all-star, then I want to see Desmond Bane as a starter. I want to see Anthony Edwards as a starter.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's a crying shame that those players didn't get the respect.
Dude, if Andrew Wiggins is a starter, Steph should be a starter, dude. Holy fuck.
Brutal. But no, I mean, it was a fun game to watch. I mean, it felt like I was watching the best team in the world play, and that's exactly what the Suns are. So
they feel like they're leaps and bounds above everybody else. Hopefully they stay healthy in the playoffs.
Seriously, and like I know
they're doing a lot of this without DeAndre Ayton too. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm. And like they've been Bismack Biyombo, like JaVale McGee, Biyombo. What's that new guy's name? Is it Ish Wainwright? Just a guy comes out of nowhere and he's like playing crunch time minutes for them in this recent stretch. It's just like, what the F, dude? I don't know. It looks really daunting for all other teams in the league. It'd be hard to pick against the Suns right now. That's for sure.
I think it's interesting. Like we might actually get to have our cake and eat it too. Cause I don't know how you were last year with the Bucks Suns final, but I had a little bit of a conflict of interest because I'm like, God damn, I want Giannis to get one and I want Drew to get one, but I also want CP3 to get one. I would have rather had the Bucks win because Drew, and I think. But
now they got one.
Yeah, now it's like now CP3 might get his, and CP3, God damn it, he deserves
he might be the most deserving player in NBA history to not have one. And the season he's putting together right now is,
at his age, dude. Like, I mean, the news they just released that report that he spends like $1 million a year on his body, which is like, obviously everybody talks about LeBron, but it's like. I guess we probably could have figured Chris Paul does that based on like how good he is at this age. And like, we obviously you hear all the stuff about him.
Oh my God. He is the most competitive, maybe the most competitive player in the league. He wants it more than anyone out there most nights.
And like another thing too about CP3 is with his tool set right now, how effective he is. It's like, why couldn't he play for another 10 years?
Health permitting. He could do this until the end of time,
if he wants to. Yeah, it's like it's not like he's blowing by people that much. He's just so skilled and so cerebral. It's like
and like some of the just like I don't know, man. I think Shaq maybe said something on the broadcast, but he was just like if the ball's moving, the ball's constantly touching all these guys' hands, like of course the team's going to play better. It's like it's kind of the fault we see with the high usage players, where it's like. Everyone wants to go back to the Rockets 0 for 27 or was it 0 for 28? But it's like when you have a guy who just pounds, just dribbles the air out of the ball every possession, maybe Ariza, maybe Eric Gordon, maybe these guys need more touches to get a feel for like rhythm, being in the game. And Chris Paul not only keeps the ball moving and keeps it in rhythm, but he gives it to you at the perfect time. He's like an uncanny ability as a setup man, as always doing the right thing. And it's like, there's a reason why when it's all said and done, advanced metrics are going to have him as a top 5 player ever. It's because the guy doesn't make mistakes.
He's a top 5 player ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
shit.
That's a good one, dude. But yeah, I mean, we've been Chris Paul guys since literally 0405 or 0506.
0506.
So it's cool to see it, and I'm glad you brought up the point of like, I'm not a Suns fan. I didn't root for the Suns last year, but like looking around the league at like the real contenders, they'd probably be one of the teams I'd be rooting for if the Pacers and Lakers are kind of out of the mix, which it looks like Pacers obviously have no shot, but you know, right. I wouldn't be mad if the Suns got one this year, especially the way they're playing. And like, even for Devin Booker, I'm not a huge Devin Booker fan, but like, this would be some good validation for him because he's an incredible player.
Better than Jordan, I will say.
And true. Who isn't though, honestly?
Yeah.
And get Ayton paid, maybe. We'll see though.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, that was my takeaway from that game. Basically a Suns circle jerk fest. But
no, I mean that's the realness, dude. They're so good.
Yeah, unreal, dude. And like, especially because like early on in the season, it looked like the Warriors, Jazz, and Suns were all kind of like at the same level, but it's just like those other two. I mean, the Jazz are a shell of themselves.
You watched the Joe Ingles injury?
I haven't seen it. I tried
not
to
about
watch
it, right?
him.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch
ACL.
it. But it's crazy to me. Tell me how I feel with this. My knee-jerk reaction, like I was reading through the comments on Reddit, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, career ender, career over. God, what a sad way to go out. Career over." It's like he tore his ACL.
Yeah,
he's a guy who doesn't.
It's not a career-ending injury.
Yeah, how is it if Joe Ingles doesn't want to be done? Like I know he's maybe not shooting 34. The ball as well as he usually does. He's 34 though. He doesn't rely on his quickness.
Somebody will take a chance on him in 8 to 12 months.
Why is this career ender? If he wants to play in the NBA, why is this a career ender? Maybe if it was a Sean Livingston, but they I saw the report on it specifically said, hey, just ACL, no other structural damage. Why is everybody like, oh, so sorry that Jingles had to go out this way, career over? I'm like, how the fuck do you figure?
Yeah, he didn't hyperextend, break his patella, rip ACL, every tendon in there.
ACL, yeah, it was just a tear towards ACL, like dozens of players do every year and come back. If he wants to, he'll be back.
Yeah, that seems like.
I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
I'm sure it was probably just an outpouring of like, Joe Ingles is like he's beloved. A lot of like hoop heads really like Joe Ingles. His trash talk, how candid he is with the media. Like, he's a fun player to watch. He's like I don't know. He's kind of a darling. Favorite. Yeah, a little bit of a darling. So, prayers up to Jingles. I know we ain't seen the last of him. All those fucking goons need to shut up.
99% of the comments.
Quit putting that in the universe.
I was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah, get that shit out of here.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't look at the highlights, so maybe it did look that bad and it just came back. But even on just like after the news came out, they're like, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. Once the diagnosis comes out, you'd think they'd pull that stuff back, but who knows?
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Did you want to talk some Grizzlies?
Well, I know we're going a little long. Let's save Grizzlies for next week.
Okay. Crap. What else are we going to cover? Any trade?
I did want to talk a little bit about the Pelicans' rumored pursuit of CJ McCollum.
Oh, let's get into it.
I mean, I don't know how much anybody gives a fuck about what I think about this, but I think I would love it. I would love that trade so much. I know I was looking at CJ McCollum's contract. He'll be making like 30+ million in 3 years. Well, this year, next year, and the year after, he'll be getting paid big buku bucks 3 years from now. But
wait, can I give you an live in-game update real quick?
Yeah, please.
Pacers were up 9 with 3:47 left, and they lost to the Magic. So
I got no heart, dog.
I fucking hate this team until I don't.
I'm gonna have to look at that the play-by-play on that.
Yeah, don't. But anyways, back to the CJ McCollum. He's getting a little bit up there, and he's probably late prime or tail end of his prime.
I'd say like in the heart of his prime.
Is he 29, 28?
Yeah, I mean he is one of the best scorers in the league. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, he's a bucket. Always has been.
But he's also a guy who doesn't need to have the ball all the time, which is obviously proven by the fact that he can see next to Damian Lillard. So if you take CJ McCollum, who I believe is an all-star caliber player, and obviously the salary is a little bit tough to look at times, but if you take an all-star caliber player, Brandon Ingram, who is an all-star, If Andrew Wiggins is a fucking all-star, Brandon Ingram's an all-star.
Oh, easily.
And he has been an all-star. So I
yeah, he's literally an all-star.
And then if Zion comes back healthy and goes back to his ways of being a top 15 player in the league, top 10 player in the league, that's a good fucking team. If you hold, and I will say with the caveat, if the Blazers are trying to get Jonas Valanciunas and Josh Hart and like Nickeil Alexander-Walker and or Jackson Hayes, like I would not want the trade if they had to give up JV. But if I was
wondering what the trade package is there like is there one that's kind of like people are, I guess, like marking is like, oh, this might be the one?
Well, Josh Hart is like their most tradable player.
Yeah.
Which that'd be tough to part with Josh Hart because he
does a lot for that team.
He's probably like their second best player, third best player, honestly. Well, with Zion being out, but it'd be hard because he's the type of guy you love on your team because he just brings it every fucking night.
Yeah.
And so that'd be tough to part with that. And then also,
doesn't Devontae Graham become totally redundant with CJ McCollum on the roster? I mean, he could still be a 6-man spark plug, but it's just like CJ McCollum's just a so much better version of him for my money.
I agree, but they lack guard depth. So
true. Well, with the Kyra Lewis Jr. injury and
and who knows how much he's in their plans, and if they give up Nickeil in the trade, like it would be nice to take a guard back. Like if they're giving up a guard, getting a guard back, but not getting rid of two. So like the most I've heard is like, picks Jackson Hayes or Nickeil and Jonas and Josh Hart get thrown out. But I think a lot of people on the Pelicans subreddit is like, well, I'd be happy for that, but don't fucking touch JV, which that's how I feel too.
That's the thing. That seems like, and maybe like I just have a lower opinion of CJ McCollum's trade value. Like I think I just said he's a walking bucket. He's been 20 a night, an efficient 20 a night for like almost 7-8 years now. Like legitimately 20 a night.
Yeah. Literally one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah. But like I just feel like he's a guy that nobody, like, I just feel like they probably shouldn't have to give up that much. That seems like too much.
No, but that's the crazy thing is like, I forget what I was reading, but it's like, it's crazy how good of a player he is for like how low his trade value is. And maybe his contract has something to do with that. But it's like, to me, if you put a player of that caliber in a lineup with Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Zion, and JV, like obviously you have to make a savvy signing or two in the offseason to really solidify the depth with like Devontae, depending on what you have to give up in that trade. But that's a fucking lineup, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, and he feels like a hole that they need filled.
Dude, their 3-point shooting and their guard play is abysmal. And if
like looking at McCollum's like the last 3 years, 7 attempts a game on 38% from three, 9 attempts a game on 40%. And then this year, granted, he's missed some time, but 8 attempts a game, 39.6 from three. It's like that, like
I can't think of like he's literally an ideal third best player on a team.
Why does he get, I mean, the way people talk about him, it feels like he's a negative asset sometimes. And I'm just like,
send him the Pelicans way, dude.
Hey, if they can buy low on him, that's a savvy effing move. And like, yeah, there's going to be some gaps. I mean, maybe moving off JV and finding like a more solid, like legit post defensive anchor who can, I mean, not to say JV's bad at defense, but like, I guess the traditional anchor big that can do a little more than JV behind McCollum would be super helpful too.
But I'd say that, the problem with the Pelicans hasn't necessarily been they don't have good defenders. It's they just haven't been able to buy into a system. Cause like, it was the same thing I complained about all the time. The first year Zion's rookie year is like, you have Lonzo, you have Drew, you have Josh Hart, I believe. You have like all these good individual.
Yeah, great point of attack defenders.
But it was still just like a sieve. And it's like, if you have a coach who can come there and just raise the ceiling, it's like, you don't have to have 5 all-star defenders. Like you look at the Nets, like their optimal lineup will have Kyrie, fucking James Harden, Kevin Durant's a good defender, but it's like, it's going to have 3 probably net negative.
Yeah, it's got its system so sometimes more than personnel.
Yeah, but they can still win games. So it's like, obviously they're going to have to beat teams on the offensive end, but it's like, if they have the proper principles in place and they're committed to being a good defensive team, they don't have to be a shit defensive team. They can be a bad defensive team, and that's enough to win.
Yeah,
with that offense, in my opinion. If you have B.I. Zion and CJ McCollum and JV,
I mean that's 130 a night, no doubt. Even without Zion, that's a pretty potent. I mean, because
they're a 500 team with this year. They're a 500 team with B.I.
Well, yeah,
and their team is like
you look at their depth, it's one of the. I mean, they're putting a lot of minutes on guys that you wouldn't want.
Atrocious.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Tommy Saborinski,
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's weird that like, because I feel like the stocks were so low on the Pelicans in the offseason, but it's like right now they're kind of like one of the hidden surprise in the league, and it's like we're getting way too excited over a 19-32 record. But here's the thing. Bitch. Yeah, I mean they're what are they, 7 games out of the 7 seed right now? So it's like that's still a lot of ground to make up. But all it takes is, if they keep playing 500 ball, they have a really good chance at being in the play-in. And then it doesn't take much to talk yourself into, well, if Zion's on the team and he's got 15 games under his belt and they're in a play-in, if BI, Zion, JV are healthy.
We call him Zion subconsciously now. Shout out to Flight.
Who's gonna want to see that in a 1-game play-in? Fucking no one, dude. Yeah. No one.
Anyway, I spent way too much time talking about the Pelicans.
No, that was
very excited. I mean, maybe we should honestly, and this is behind the scenes planning on the fly. Trade deadline's next Thursday. Maybe we should just record our podcast on Thursday instead of Wednesday.
Live? Do like some, well, because when's the deadline actually? It's probably like 5 Eastern.
Yeah, but I mean,
let's do it. Yeah,
because I mean, we'll talk on Wednesday, and then all the news will be coming out, and then we'll be so anyway.
That's gonna be
trade deadline extravaganza.
Dang, that's gonna be a big one, dude. All right. We might even have to bring in guests if a couple teams are involved.
Oh.
I mean, who knows?
Even Griffin, I've actually talked to the man, so I might just have to get him on this motherfucker.
You fucking star fugger.
Fuck you, dude.
Well, crap. I don't know. You got anything else you want to cover?
No, I'm good. Did you have any wacky stuff, or do you want to sign off for the week?
No, I got a lot to do tonight, and yeah, it was a fun episode. I feel like we covered a lot of ground, dude.
Good shit. All right. Yeah. Well, with that said, sign us off, big dog.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We had a great time.